Two impoverished twin girls selflessly shared their final sandwich, then an amazing transformation sparked hope in their lives beyond imagination. Lily and Rose stood in the dimly lit school cafeteria, the sound of clattering trays and laughter echoing around them. But the warmth of their schoolmates' joy felt a million miles away. With empty stomachs aching and pockets turned out, both sisters eyed the single sandwich left on the end of an abandoned table. Its plastic wrap clung tightly, preserving a glimpse of the golden crust shining in the fluorescent lights. It was the last remnant of hope on a day filled with hunger and despair. "No way, that can't be ours," said Lily, her eyes wide with longing. "What if it's bad?" Rose replied, but her heart raced, tempted by the aroma wafting from its edges. A silent battle of want and worry raged as they approached the lonely, solitary sandwich. But instead of snatching it for themselves, a shared glance spoke volumes. In a heartbeat, as if fueled by sheer love, they reached for the sandwich together. With a swift motion, they split it right down the middle. Lily took the crust, Rose the heart, and together, they savored each bite. It was both a feast and a declaration of their bond. As they chewed carefully, they shared not just the last morsel of food but also the hope they carried in their hearts. They would always have each other. Days merged into weeks, the seasons drifting like clouds over their little town. As the air cooled into fall, news broke: a local competition was proposing scholarships for innovative projects. Their spirits ignited, a glimmer of promise shimmered in their neighborhood's gloom. "We could run a food cart," Lily said, excitement bubbling in her chest. They envisioned transforming Grandma's special recipe into something magical, but doubt crept in quickly. Their wealthier classmates mocked their ambition, laughter echoing like a painful reminder of their circumstances. "It's a dream for rich kids, not for you," one sneered. Those words burrowed deep, marrying their hopes with insecurity. Even their own community held skepticism like a shield, asking if two impoverished girls had what it took. Questions of their capabilities echoed cruelly in their ears. Despite it all, the twins rolled their sleeves up and pressed on. Their kitchen became a battleground of flavors, as they infused every dish with love and the spirited memories of family gatherings. Each failed batch of batter only fueled them with more determination. Yet, the night before the competition, dread tangled with their dreams. The air thick with uncertainty, they exchanged hesitant glances. Did they truly belong in this race? The day dawned bright, but fear loomed heavily as they unveiled their colorful food cart, a monument of resilience. The crowd buzzed with anticipation, the energy palpable. Lily scanned familiar faces, neighbors, friends, and even some of those wealthy peers who had doubted them. They glimpsed a shaky hope in the crowd, a community tired of the stigma that had long shadowed them. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted. An unexpected twist in the event stirred whispers of equality and belonging among the onlookers, uniting them against prejudice. In that moment, as the judges deliberated, the sisters stood together, not merely facing the judgments of the competition, but embracing the strength of their community. The moment of truth hovered over them. Was it victory that they sought, or the realization that hope and courage lived within their hearts? Just before the announcer spoke, the tension thickened, a palpable silence washing over the crowd. "And the winner is," they held their breath, hearts hammering against ribs. Would their selfless act of sharing lead to success, or would they have to redefine what truly mattered in their journey? That moment lay poised to transform everything. Lily's heart pounded as she clutched Rose's hand tightly. The world around them faded into a blur, a cage of uncertainty as the announcer's voice pierced through the stillness. Each word stretched like infinity. They were caught in a moment that felt both familiar and foreign. "The winner is Team Flavor Whirl." The name rang out like a beautiful bell, startling them back to the moment. It wasn't them. The words hung in the air, sweet and bitter all at once. Rose's smile faltered, her eyes darting to Lily, searching unsuccessfully for hope. In the chaotic flurry of emotions, they both felt flashes of disappointment. But more importantly, beneath that, a deeper truth began to surface. They weren't just in this for a trophy. Crowd murmurs swirled around them, a bittersweet symphony of excitement and empathy. Their neighbors, people who had seen their struggles, rallied behind them. "Don't let that get you down, girls," called out Mrs. Jenkins, the neighbor who often shared vegetables from her garden. "You're making our community proud." Lily's breath quickened while she scanned the crowd, their familiarity brought warmth amid the chill. In just a short time, they had become more than simple competitors. They had inspired hope. As the event concluded, the twins stared into the horizon, the late afternoon sun painting the sky in splashes of orange and pink, a masterpiece reflecting their shifting dreams. They realized the judge's decision might have been out of their control, but what was blossoming around them was a bond woven into the very fabric of their community. "Do you think we've still made a difference?" Rose asked, her voice laced with vulnerability. Lily turned toward her sister, the weight of the day resting heavy on both of their shoulders. "We have, Rose. Just look at how many people stood up for us." And that was it, wasn't it? The competition had ignited something deeper than a mere pursuit of victory. They had ventured beyond the kitchen, becoming beacons of hope. As they packed up their cart, the whispers of possibility brushed against their ears. "What's next?" Lily pondered aloud. "We can start a movement," Rose suggested, her eyes lighting up again. "We can teach others how to cook. Let us make our food a way for others to come together." The idea ignited a spark in Lily. "We need to plan. We turn each recipe into a workshop. We could even bring in old community favorites." Just then, a familiar voice chimed in. It was Sam, the boy from school who often sat alone with his sketchbook. He approached shyly, his wide eyes filled with admiration. "That was so brave of you. I loved your cart. Can I help out? I could draw posters." Surprise flooded Lily and Rose. They exchanged glances, recognizing a beautiful truth: what started as their ambition was spreading like wildfire. The community was not just a setting, it was family, the support they had always longed for. "Of course. We'd love your help," Rose said, her spirit lifting. As they walked home, the sun still warmed their shoulders. With newfound friends and dreams blossoming, there was a renewed sense of purpose. They began to plan for a community cooking day, driven by the rhythm of hope swelling in their hearts. Yet, as they reached the crest of the hill overlooking their neighborhood, a shadow flickered at the corner of Lily's eye. What appeared to be a food truck pulled into the parking lot of an abandoned lot. Something inside her stirred a curiosity mixed with apprehension. What if this was just the beginning? "Rose, look." Lily pointed toward the truck, a sense of adventure igniting anew. "Maybe it's a sign," Rose ventured. The twins shared a curious look, their minds racing with possibility. What did this truck hold for their future? What challenges and surprises awaited them just around the corner? Little did they know, their journey was about to expand into territories they never imagined. Lily's feet carried her forward, drawn to the mysterious food truck like a moth to a flame. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting a golden hue against the truck's brightly painted sides, vibrant colors that seemed to pulse with life and promise. "Should we check it out?" Lily asked, her voice barely above a whisper, fueled by that same thrill of curiosity. "Definitely," Rose replied, adjusting the strap of her bag with an eager determination. They both felt it, a tangible excitement resting in the air, as if the twilight itself held its breath, just like their hearts. As they approached the truck, the pull became undeniable. A chalkboard sign hung nearby, scribbled with the day's special: tacos with a twist, fresh ingredients, made with love. Rose's stomach growled, reminding her just how hungry they truly were after a long day. Just then, the door swung open, revealing a cheerful woman with a warm smile framed by tousled hair. "Hey there. Welcome. Are you girls hungry?" She beamed, her upbeat energy infectious. Kind of," Rose and Lily replied almost in sync, instinctively stepping closer. The woman leaned against the counter, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. "I'm Mia. What brings you both out here?" After a brief moment of hesitation, Lily spoke up. We just finished at the community cook-off. We didn't win, but we're planning to start some cooking workshops to share our recipes and bring people together. Mia's smile widened. That sounds amazing. Food has a way of connecting us, doesn't it? She made the simplest gesture, sprinkling fresh cilantro over the sizzling toppings. How about a taste of something special? On the house. Rose glanced at Lily, and they both lit up, hearts swelling with gratitude. Really? They chimed, a hint of disbelief woven into their words. Absolutely. Just give back to your community when you can, and you'll be amazed at the joy it brings, Mia replied, her voice warm and inviting. While they waited, Mia began to craft the tacos, her movements fluid and confident. Lily watched, mesmerized by the way Mia added spice and flavor, pouring her heart into every dish she prepared. Do you think you could teach us some of those tricks? Rose asked, biting her lip with anticipation. Mia paused, her brow furrowing for a moment before she grinned. How about I come by and do a mini workshop with you? I'd love to help out. The offer struck like a bolt of lightning. Really? That would be incredible. Lily exclaimed, feeling a rush of excitement course through her veins. As they munched on their tacos, the flavors exploded in their mouths. They chatted and shared their dreams, visions of their community coming alive around them through their love of food. But just as laughter danced among them, a commotion erupted from across the parking lot. A group of teens appeared, wild and loud. One of them, a tall boy with an air of confidence, swaggered closer. You're not cooking up some lame food contest again, are you? He sneered, blocking their view. Lily's heart sank. She could feel Rose tense beside her. Would this be their first taste of rejection from someone who didn't understand? Just because you didn't win, doesn't mean you're not good enough. Mia defended. You have to remember, it's about sharing the love, not just the competition. For a moment, time stretched, bringing the weight of their fears crashing down. Would they be able to rise above the doubts and negativity, or would this setback mar their budding ambitions? Don't let them get to you, Mia said softly, sensing their unease. True success is measured by how many lives you touch, not just trophies. Suddenly, the group of teens burst into laughter, dismissing them with little thought. Lily felt frustration churning in her chest. If only they could see their vision, their strength. Let us not let this define us, she finally said, breathing in deeply. We still have a chance to create something amazing with our cooking workshops to prove them all wrong. With a sudden spark of determination, she turned to Mia. Can we really do this together? The response was already igniting within them. And just like that, as dusk settled and stars peeked through the clouds, something shifted in their hearts. But as they began to craft their plans, little did they know that the shadows of doubt would loom larger than they anticipated. What awaited them on this journey? A path laced with both hope and hardship. Would their resolve be enough to face the challenges ahead? As the stars began to twinkle in the vast sky above, a sense of purpose swelled within Lily and Rose. Their eyes sparkled with a newfound determination, as though the cosmos agreed with their dreams. The tacos were gone, the laughter was ebbing, but the fire inside them burned brighter than ever. Okay, so how do we tackle this workshop idea? Lily asked, grinning as each of her words carried a sense of possibility. Rose's hands rested thoughtfully on her knees, a contemplative look danced on her face. Well, first, we need a plan, Rose said slowly. We should think about where we'll host it. A community center or maybe even Mia's food truck. Mia's eyes lit up at the suggestion, a bustle of energy filling the air. I'd love to help you run it, she chimed in, enthusiasm dancing in her voice. Imagine hosting it right here, surrounded by the smell of spices and laughter. We can draw a crowd. That's it. Lily's excitement was contagious. What's better than tacos and good company? They could already envision the community coming together, sharing recipes, and celebrating culture through food. But just as hope pushed against their doubt, a small voice timidly called out from the shadows. "Can I join?" Startled, they turned to see a shy girl standing nearby. She was no older than 10, with tangled hair and a hesitant smile. Her clothes were worn, threadbare in places, but her eyes sparkled with a mix of trust and longing. "Of course, you can." Rose smiled, her warmth drawing the girl closer. "What's your name?" "Ellie," she said softly. "Nice to meet you, Ellie." Lily leaned down, meeting the girl's gaze. "Are you interested in cooking?" "Yeah, but no one has ever invited me to anything before," the little girl mumbled, her cheeks flushing slightly. "Oh, that's about to change," Mia replied, sensing the weight of the moment. "We're starting a cooking workshop. You're officially our first student." Ellie's face lit up in disbelief. "Really? I can learn how to make tacos." "Not just tacos, everything." Rose bubbled with joy, catching Lily's energy. "We're going to find flavors from all over the world and create a big feast." But as they basked in this burgeoning sense of community, a shadow loomed on the horizon. The loud group of teens had gathered again, whispering and snickering. Lily felt a shiver crawl down her spine as she noticed them pointing in their direction. The air thickened, and doubt fluttered back, threatening to choke their dreams. "See? They think you guys are making some stupid fairy tale," the same boy from earlier called, crossing his arms smugly. "You really think you can throw a cooking workshop? Sounds like a joke." The laughter rolled out again, harsh and reckless. But this time, Lily stood tall, grounding herself in the moment. "Maybe it sounds like a joke to you," she shouted back, her voice steadier than she felt. "But we believe in it. It's not about you." Rose stepped forward, her fists clenched in resolve. "We're cooking food that brings people together. We're building something real." Ellie watched in awe as the confrontation unfolded. The swaggering confidence of the older kids only dimmed as they exchanged uneasy glances. They weren't prepared for this kind of pushback. With a final scoff, the group began to disperse, the laughter fading, but not before Lily caught one of the boys whispering to a friend, "Let us see how long they last." As the market quieted around them once more, the warmth of Mia's smile anchored Lily. "You're stronger than you think," she said softly, pride folding into her voice. "Thanks," Lily replied, heart racing. "But will our community even support us?" The question hung heavy in the air, and a silence enveloped them, laced with both hope and uncertainty. A glimmer of resolve sparked in Rose's eyes, as she took Lily's hand. "We just need to believe and maybe even turn those skeptics into believers." The night was still young, but paths were already beginning to cross and intertwine, weaving dreams into reality. But would they muster the strength to face the growing resistance? What hidden challenges and surprises lay in store for them as they moved forward? The next morning dawned bright and warm, the sun spilling golden light over the bustling market. Lily rubbed the sleep from her eyes, feeling an odd mix of excitement and nervousness as she prepared for the day ahead. Today wasn't just another day, it was the beginning of something special. As Rose joined her, she could practically feel the energy swirling between them. "Do you think anyone will really come?" Rose asked, a flicker of doubt sneaking into her voice. "They will." Lily replied with a cheerfulness that surprised even her. "We just need to spread the word. Who wouldn't want to learn how to make tacos, or better yet, dishes from around the world?" With a plan settling firmly in their minds, they decided to hit the streets. The duo strolled through the market, sharing their excitement about the cooking workshop with anyone who would listen. Mia had loaned them a colorful flyer that read in big, bold letters, "Join us for a cooking workshop. Let us explore flavors together and create a feast." They approached vendors and customers alike, handing out flyers with big smiles and infectious enthusiasm. A few neighbors initially shrugged them off, but others lit up at the mention of cooking. "Count me in." One older woman exclaimed, her face rosy with excitement. "I've got some recipes to share." But uncertainty loomed as a couple of older teens brushed past them, snickering and whispering. Lily felt her heart flutter awkwardly. Did they think the workshop was still a joke? She took a deep breath, trying to shake off their negativity. As they reached the corner where Mia's food truck was parked, enthusiasm crackled in the air. The scent of grilled meats and fresh vegetables wafted out, wrapping around them like a warm embrace. Let's set up a little stand to gather interest right here. Rose suggested, her eyes glowing with determination. They rushed to gather supplies: a folding table, some chairs, and a whiteboard Mia had lent them. They wrote in bold letters, "Sign up for our cooking workshop." With each passerby, Lily's heart raced. Maybe this could work. Maybe they could really bring their dream to life. An hour passed, and while they managed to get a handful of sign-ups, doubts crept in. The sun sank lower in the sky, casting long shadows that echoed their uncertainties. Just as they began to question their efforts, a small crowd gathered around the food truck. "Is this where I sign up? My grandma makes the best chili, and I want to share it at your workshop," a lively teenager exclaimed. One by one, curious faces emerged from the crowd, each sharing their own love for cooking. "I can bring my mom's famous pasta recipe," a girl chimed in. Hope sparked in Lily's chest, her initial worries beginning to fade. But then, the bad energy returned. The same group of teens from before appeared again, arms crossed and smirks plastered on their faces. "What are you guys even doing? A bunch of wannabes cooking? This is going to end in disaster," the boy sneered. "Yeah, it's all just a dream." Another chimed in, arms crossed, laughter bubbling in their voices. Lily's heart sank momentarily, but Rose stepped up, her voice steady. "We're building a community. We're here to share good food and good times. You should try it sometime." The shocked silence that followed surprised everyone. Some in the crowd started clapping, while others looked intrigued. But before they could revel in that moment, a familiar voice rang out, breaking through the tension. It was Ellie. "You guys are wrong. This is important." With eyes wide and words sincere, she stood her ground. "They're making something real." Lily's heart swelled. Could their workshop be more than just a cooking class? Could it truly change lives? The crowd's reaction shifted at Ellie's boldness. A ripple of support flowed through them, but as excitement filled the air, excitement mingled with uncertainty once more. Would they be able to withstand the looming challenge from those who seemed so determined to tear them down? As laughter and chatter rose among their new supporters, the shadows of doubt still lingered at the edges. Lily's heart raced, hope thrummed in her chest. "Are we really doing this?" she asked Rose, a spark in her eyes. "Together," Rose replied. Yet, that voice echoed in Lily's mind, pushing against her heart. Could this moment really break the barriers the others put up? What if they could turn the tide? The night drew near, and with it, the enormity of their project weighed heavily on their shoulders. Would they inspire others to stand with them, or fall to the whispers of doubt looming in the dark? The next day arrived with a shimmer of possibility hanging in the air. As Lily and Rose set up their workshop space at Mia's food truck, excitement pulsed between them. The sun climbed higher, casting a warm glow over the scene. "Look!" Rose pointed as people began to trickle in. They were curious, hopeful, ready to learn more. Lily bit her lip in anticipation. Each new face brought a rush of warmth to her heart. Maybe this was really happening, but then, she spotted the same group of teens from yesterday, their looks glazed with mockery. A wave of dread washed over her, but she forced herself to focus on the potential of this moment. "Focus on the good," she whispered to herself. "Hey guys!" Rose greeted the newcomers enthusiastically. "Welcome. We're excited to cook together." She had an infectious energy that lifted even Lily's spirits. As the first few participants gathered, they introduced themselves, each bringing a thread of their culinary heritage. One woman shared her memories of her grandmother's special pot roast, while a young boy sprouted his dreams of making the perfect pizza. For the first time, Lily felt their shared bond through food weaving stronger than all prior doubts. Let's kick this off. Rose clapped her hands. They had a plan. The first dish would be a simple salsa. Everyone could chop, mix, and taste. Lily felt her heart race with joy as she distributed ingredients. But just as the laughter and chatter began to swirl around them, the naysayers circled closer, sneering louder. "You really think this is going to be fun?" The boy shouted, a smirk plastered on his face. "This looks like a train wreck waiting to happen." His comment stung, but before Lily could lose herself to doubt, Ellie stepped forward like a shield. "Can't you see they're actually trying to create something? You might not get it, but that doesn't mean it's not real." The crowd was starting to respond to Ellie's fire. Some moved in closer, eager for a taste of the community spirit she had so boldly championed. But the pressure felt heavy as the boys sneered and crossed their arms. "Let's prove them wrong," Lily murmured to Rose, her determination ignited. Every chopped tomato, every laugh at LL speak for itself. They started preparing the salsa, earthy scents mingling as bright, colorful ingredients disappeared into bowls. The laughter grew as friends connected each chop of the knife and stir of the mixing bowls became a note in their growing symphony. Lily felt her spirit sink with those around her. They were creating not just food, but memories too. It was everything she had hoped for and more. Noticing this, Lily caught the eye of the boy who'd been taunting them. He was losing some of his bravado. Faint interest flickered in his expression. Taking a breath, Lily decided to take a gamble. "Want to join us?" she called out, her voice clear and confident. "We can show you how to make it." The crowd turned quiet, anticipation buzzing. What would he say? His friends elbowed him, laughter bubbling at the challenge, but for a moment, he hesitated. Clear conflict lined his face. Would he risk joining a project he'd dismissed just hours before? Lily's heart raced, a fear of rejection wrestling with hope. They had created a space for everyone, including him. Could he see that? The murmur of the crowd ignited once more, hands moving to nudge him forward, curiosity painting their expressions. Would he take the plunge? As minutes ticked by, a ripple of anticipation surrounded them, thick and electric. The workshop was teetering on the edge of transformation, not just for food, but for hearts too. And in that moment, as glances shifted between the gathering and the boy, the air thickened with possibility. Would this uncertain challenge help them rise together, or would the shadows of doubt snuff out their light? Lily held her breath, awaiting his decision. In the distance, the sunset painted the sky in hues of orange and pink, mirroring the vibrant connections being forged. What would be born in those final moments of hesitation? The boy's hesitation lingered in the air like the sweet aroma of cilantro and lime. For a heartbeat, everything felt frozen, as if time held its breath. The crowd shifted uneasily, eyes darting between him and Lily. Finally, he stepped forward, a tentative smile breaking free from his previous bravado. "Okay, I'll give it a shot." His voice was softer, as if he were unwrapping a hidden part of himself. The collective gasp from the crowd made his face flush, surprise and gratitude spreading warmth across their small community. "Great!" Rose cheered, her delight contagious. She motioned him over to the chopping station, where vibrant tomatoes already awaited their fate. "Let's start by dicing these. You show us what you got." He took a hesitant seat by the counter, his hands fidgeting with a knife as if it were an alien object. "This is kinda weird," he muttered, laughter bubbling from the crowd, breaking the tension. "It can be weird, and fun." Ellie chimed in. "Just let it flow, like you're on a pizza-making mission." Lily felt a surge of courage swell within her. She reached out lightly, placing her hand on the boy's forearm. "We're all learning together. Just focus on what you enjoy." The boy's expression softened. "Yeah, okay." And just like that, the workshop shifted gears. Laughter erupted as he managed his first few awkward cuts, sending pieces of tomato flying in every direction. The previously scornful group that had circled him now chuckled and offered advice, swinging from contempt to camaraderie. As they continued slicing, customers began gathering around the food truck, fascinated by the impromptu scene. Conversations sparked between people who had once been strangers. Sharing pointers, creating memories, they were growing together, one chop at a time, with each stir and sprinkle, colors and flavors merged into the salsa, creating something vibrant that mirrored their collective energy. A bond formed that was richer than food. It was connection and understanding that transcended their differences. Just then, Rose lifted the mixing bowl high. "Who's ready to taste?" Cheers erupted, hearts pounding. Everyone gathered closer, eyes bright with anticipation. Even the boy's former companions stood entranced, curiosity overshadowing their earlier disdain. Lily watched as the boy scooped a spoonful, his nervousness dissolving into excitement. "Okay, here goes nothing." He paused, glancing around before taking a bite, and a beam of delight spread across his face. "This is actually really good." The affirmation ignited shouts and laughter. It was an explosion of joy. Lily felt her heart swell. She could see doubt shatter like glass around them. Together, they had transformed an act of preparation into a celebration. But just then, the group of naysayers exchanged glances, a deeper conversation flickering behind their eyes. The boy turned, eyes glimmering with authenticity. "You guys, I thought this wouldn't be fun," but it's before he could finish, the loudest one of the group interjected, fiery defiance flashing across his face. "You're not seriously considering stop?" The boy raised his hand, a new strength in his voice. "This is real, and we're learning something. You can join if you want." A pause hung heavy, tension creeping back in. Would they follow him? Would they see this moment as a chance, or fall back into the comfortable safety of ridicule? As the crowd held its breath, tension crackling in the air, Lily yearned for acceptance for all of them, together. Her heart thumped like a drummer signaling the crescendo. There was something profound brewing at that moment, about to spill over. Could they bridge the divide, open their hearts to something new? What would it take to make this gathering truly inclusive, and could they all stand united even when faced with the unsure remnants of yesterday's scorn? While the sun dipped into the horizon, bathing them in golden light, uncertainty loomed as they awaited the boy's response. Every minute seemed to stretch between fear and hope. What would happen next? The tension in the air was palpable. The boy stood in front of the group, his confidence clashing with the uncertainty that danced around them, like shadows at twilight. Everyone's eyes fixed on him, breaths held tight. He took a step closer to the edge of the table, glancing back at the boy who'd spoken up. The boldness in him ignited a flicker of something new, maybe bravery. "Why not?" he said, a hint of challenge mixing in his tone. The crowd reacted with a mixture of surprised murmurs and whispers. "Yeah." Rose chimed in, enthusiasm radiating from her like sunlight. "We're all in this together, right? Let's make this fun for everyone." Encouraged, the boy gestured to the other group. "Come on. You've been making fun of us. Now you can join in. It's not just about cooking, it's about actually being here with us." The boy's friends exchanged hesitant glances, their bravado clearly wavering. They weren't used to being called out like this. But the energy of the growing crowd and the aroma curling through the air made it harder to resist. One of them, a girl with arms crossed, finally spoke up. "Fine, I'll try. But I'm not promising anything." Her voice dripped with sarcasm, but there was a spark of curiosity behind her words. "Great!" Lily exclaimed, her heart swelling with hope. She moved aside to make room at the counter. "Let us all dive in together. You can help with the onions, we need some strong hands there." The girl hesitated but approached the table, her steps slow and tentative. Soon, others filtered in, emboldened by curiosity. Hesitation hung in the air like a state of awakening. As they joined in, the workshop transformed into a small symphony of clashing knives, laughter, and playful shouts. With every chop and slice, they started to create their own mosaic of flavors. It felt organic, like they weren't just mixing ingredients but intertwining their lives. Bit by bit, Lily couldn't help but watch in awe. The girl who had originally scoffed was cracking jokes with the boy, the blade of the knife sliding confidently into the onion. What was happening felt transformative, like a jigsaw puzzle coming together. Rivalries were peeling away like layers of an onion, revealing the sweetness within. Even the boy, who had started as the reluctant participant, turned out to be a natural, offering tips and encouraging the new arrivals with surprising warmth. "See, this isn't so bad, is it?" he called out, grinning wide. A small smile crept onto the girl's face, and for a moment, there was actual joy. A wave of laughter washed over them, pulling the crowd closer. They were cooking, yes, but they were also healing. Unspoken barriers were falling, and Lily felt that the heart of the community was starting to beat louder, stronger. Then, just as the bowl of salsa was beginning to fill up and the laughter reached a crescendo, a loud commotion erupted at the edge of the gathering. The air filled with tension again, people turning to look at the disturbance. Lily's heart sank. Would all this joy be interrupted so soon? The fun was so delicate, like a carefully prepared dish threatened by unforeseen chaos. She exchanged worried glances with the boy, who had only recently found his voice. What was happening now? Would the moment they had created together hold, or would it all crumble? As the crowd shifted to see, the unity they had just found felt precarious. Lily could feel the heartbeat of hope and fear intertwining. Then, from the crowd, she heard a familiar voice calling someone out. "Hey! What are you doing here?" The moment hung like a pendulum, swinging between uncertainty and possibility. Lily felt a shiver run down her spine. She barely dared to breathe, bracing herself for whatever came next. The noise at the edge of the gathering grew louder. Lily's eyes darted toward the source, and her stomach twisted. A boy with a fierce expression stormed in, pushing through the crowd like a storm front. His eyes landed on one of the girls who had joined them. "Maya!" he shouted, the disappointment pouring from him like rain. The laughter faltered. The joyful atmosphere was suddenly laced with an undercurrent of tension. Maya faltered too, letting the knife slip from her fingers. "What are you doing here?" she stammered, a stark contrast to the confidence she had just displayed moments before. "I came to find you." "You promised you'd stick with the plan," he shot back, his frustration palpable. This is not who you are." Maya's shoulders tightened. The group around them was shrinking back, unsure whether to intervene or retreat entirely. Lily chewed on her lip, torn. This was their moment, a chance for newfound connections. But Maya's history was wrapped in the boy's voice, a tether that pulled her back. "This is different," Maya said, her voice small yet determined. "I'm different." "This is a joke," he scoffed. "You think you can just jump in with them?" His eyes swept over the assembled crowd, the disdain evident on his face. "They'd never accept you." Lily felt the heat rise in her cheeks, a rush of defense swelling within her. She stepped forward, coming between them. "That's not true. Look around, we're all here together. We're not about to let anyone's past decide their future." Maya's eyes flickered between the boy and Lily. The doubt on her face began to clear. I want to be here," she said softly, though the tremor in her voice betrayed her uncertainty. The boy's expression hardened. "Then you're just throwing everything away. All the hard work we've done. You're not one of them." Something inside Lily snapped. She'd seen how easily walls could fall. No one is just one of them. We're all here trying to find our rhythm, trying to belong. It doesn't matter where we came from. Maya took a breath, her heart pounding in her chest. Maybe there was a truth in what Lily said. Maybe she'd spent too long letting others dictate her place in the world. But the boy closed in, shooting daggers with his eyes. "Don't listen to her. You'll regret this." With each word, their gathered excitement felt more fragile, like a bubble poised to burst. It pulsed around them, cheering this strange union while being crushed under the weight of words. The laughter had died, leaving only tension and choice hanging in the air. Maya stepped closer to Lily, a small hope wrapped in her gaze. She was slowly realizing that she could choose her path. But the boy didn't back down. "Then I guess you're choosing wrong," he said, his voice low. Lily's stomach dropped at the finality in his tone. "This isn't over, Maya," he warned, spinning on his heel to leave, the sting of his departure echoing. The energy in the room shifted again, the air heavier than before. Lily looked back at Maya, whose eyes were now filled with an internal battle. She could feel it creeping in, fear tying her down like chains. "Maya, you belong here," Lily urged, her voice steady and filled with warmth that fought against the unease. But what could she do if Maya didn't believe it herself? Maya hesitated, glancing between the crowd and the boy who had left. She felt lost, tugged in two opposing directions. What if he's right? She whispered. Lily's heart pounded, determination igniting her words. "You'll never know until you take a step forward. Forget the past. Right now, this moment is yours, not his." Maya took a deep breath, something shifting in her eyes. But what would her decision mean? Would she embrace this new beginning, or would she let the shadows of doubt pull her away? With the gravity of the moment pressing in around them, all eyes were on her, holding their breath, waiting to see if the connection they had made would fracture or become stronger. Then, without warning, the silence was broken by the sudden sound of clapping, and a ripple of encouragement surged from the crowd, filling the space with a warmth that hinted at hope. Lily's heart raced with anticipation. Would Maya rise to meet it? Maya's eyes shifted, taking in the faces that had gathered around her, each radiating support and encouragement. For a moment, the world around them blurred into the background. Lily felt the energy swell in the air, charged and electric, wrapping each of them in a promise of belonging. "Maya!" Someone called out. A voice from a family member. "We believe in you." Those simple words fell like a warm blanket over all the gathered hearts. Lily's heart beating in rhythm with that of the crowd, strong, defiant, ready to stand together. The warmth of camaraderie flowed through her. Taking a deep breath, Maya finally spoke, her voice steadying in the face of uncertainty. "You know what? I'm tired of letting someone else dictate my choices." A wave of relief washed over Lily. This was the spark they all needed, the awakening of hope burning bright. "I want to be part of this. I want to cook and laugh, to share my grandma's recipes just like everyone else." With each sentence, the tension in the air eased. Cheers erupted, a triumphant wave of sound that banished doubt. People were hugging, high-fiving, and even shedding tears of joy around them. Straw hats, shirts, and baseball caps flew into the air, marking a celebration of acceptance. The boy who doubted Maya stepped back slowly as if the very foundation of his belief faltered beneath him. Lily reached out to Maya and pulled her into a warm embrace. "You did it. You chose you." Maya laughed, the lightness in her voice a clear sign of breaking free from chains that no longer bound her. "I really did." She turned toward the crowd, her confidence blossoming like flowers in spring. "Who's ready to cook?" With laughter and straining, joyful voices, the crowd surged forward, each person eager to blend their flavors together. Conversations bubbled, stories unfolded, and connections blossomed like the salsa in their mixing bowl. Lily squeezed Maya's hand in a silent moment of solidarity. Yes, they were all different, but they shared a common thread of aspiration and hope that strummed through their lively community. They worked together side by side, slicing, mixing, and laughing. Each ingredient they added symbolized a piece of their lives they were sharing, bringing them closer. As they stirred the bright mix, it became more than salsa, it became their dreams, their connections, their truths. The mixture represented the unique blend of their experiences and ambitions. They had become a kitchen symphony, each note of laughter and joy in perfect harmony. Just as they finished prepping the salsa, word of their gathering spread like wildfire. Neighbors wandered over, pulled in by the promise of warmth, food, and connection. They saw the magic unfolding, the community coming together despite past doubts and fears, but just as they served the final taste tests, Maya turned to Lily, her eyes alight with realization. This isn't just our workshop, is it? This feels like something more. Lily's heart fluttered. We're creating a movement. Not just for cooking, but for community. Something that connects all of us. Maya nodded enthusiastically. What if we plan more workshops? More dishes, more stories. We can involve everyone. A wave of determination danced across Lily's chest. Yes. We could create a community cookbook filled with everyone's recipes and stories, a testament of our journey together. Hope pulsed among them like a heart beating strong. What had started with a single sandwich became something bigger than they could have ever imagined. As night draped its velvet cloak over the kitchen of unity, a newfound sense of belonging blossomed. They gathered in a circle, holding hands, feeling more like family than ever, a mosaic of dreams held together by trust and friendship, and as the stars began to twinkle above, someone shouted, "Let us celebrate our first feast together." Joy bubbled into the air like the sizzling foods around them, laughter thick and rich with promise. The food had become the essence of their newfound community, something that connected all their hearts, nourishing their spirits. Years later, as Lily and Rose organized bustling workshops filled with laughter and unity, they often reflected on that crucial moment when Maya chose to believe in herself. The food truck remained a beloved symbol of transformation, ever present and vibrant, as they continued inspiring countless others to discover their own flavors of hope and possibility. As their story spread far and wide, it served as a reminder community could be made, one shared meal at a time. So remember this, my friends, no dream is too small when we choose to hold hands tightly and lift one another up. The moment you believe, everything changes. You need to subscribe now to not miss the next exclusive stories that are bursting with emotion and transformation. Leave a like now to feed the algorithm and keep this community thriving. Comment below, sharing your thoughts and feelings about this impactful ending. Don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need a taste of hope and inspiration. Let us spread the love.